Hi everybody, Professor Benelou here with a short video, or series of videos I should say. I'm going to be explaining the Unit 4 discussion board assignment. This first short little video will just be going through the assignment. And then the next two videos in the series, you have four choices of topics. I'll be going over the first two topics, Reaganomics and the First Gulf War, excuse me, in the second video. And then the third video, it will be Rise of Conservatism and Reagan's Tear Down This Wall speech. So without further ado, let's get into the Unit 4 discussion board. This is broken up into two due dates, just like your Unit 2 discussion board, folks. This is very similar to Unit 4 discussion board, by the way. Your original post is going to be due Friday, April 26th by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. And your responses are going to be due April 30th by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. And remember, after the 30th, your responses will no longer be accepted. Okay, so let's get on with the show. You have to choose a topic. Like I said, there are four. You're going to be working with primary documents once again, just as you did in Unit 2 discussion board. Very similar. There's just another extra step in Unit 4 DB. We're building on what we did in Unit 2 DB. Choose one of the primary source documents from the topic list below. Using the primary source reading, answer the following question. Use the template provided to complete the assignment. And once again, I will be sending you through a CTU Messenger message the template that you need to use. So there's four choices. Reagan's remarks on signing the Economic Recovery Tax Act of 1981 and the Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act. Basically, Reaganomics, okay? And I'm going to get into that in video number 2. The second topic, George H.W. Bush, his speech before the United Nations General Assembly on Iraqi aggression. I will be discussing that in the short second little video as well. Excuse me. In the third short video, I'll be discussing the last two topics. Pat Buchanan, his address to the Republican National Convention. This is going to be the rise of conservatism. I will be discussing that. And last but not least, in the third little video, is going to be Ronald Reagan's 1987 Tear Down This Wall speech. Very important speech in American history. We will get that in that short little video. So peruse the topics and see what interests you most, and you will find plenty of research material on any of these topics. And personally, I think they're all very interesting. Okay, so your original post requirements, this is important. This is what is going to be due the 26th, okay? Friday the 26th. There are 4 sections that you need to cover instead of 3 that you had in the Unit 2 DB. There's one more step, one more section. So it should be pretty familiar to you. Okay, the contact sections were 25 points. Name the document you chose to analyze. Who was the creator of the document? Briefly describe the creator of the document. To answer this, you may need to use information from the introduction to the source, course materials like the LibGuide and Telepath, or what I myself have provided you. When and where was the document created? Again, you may need to use information obtained from the introduction to the course source, the course materials like LibGuide and Telepath, or what I provided. That's the context section, okay? The next section is the summary. Write a brief summary of the source. What is the main topic or issue covered in the source? What is the source's creator's main points about this topic? And what's one interesting thing said in the source? Okay, so those are the first 2 sections. The last 2 sections of the DB original post is as follows. Connections were 30 points. How does this source connect to the Unit 4 materials? How does it help you to better understand that moment in American history? How does it help you in general understand the Unit 4 learning materials? Okay, you want to think about how the source fits into things like the LibGuide and Telepath and information I provided you. Does this source support what you already know about this topic? Let's say the Berlin Wall, what have you. If so, how? Or does the source change the way you think about this topic? If so, how? Okay, and then the last section, this is where we build from your Unit 2 DB, because this is the section that's different, the added section, is the issue today, which is worth 25 points. Identify how the issue in the document relates to us in American life today. You want to use specific examples to explain your points, okay? So that is your original post requirement. Okay, your peer discussion requirement, pretty much the same as Unit 2 DB. The questions you're going to answer when responding to your classmates' posts are a little different. I'm going to get into that in a sec. So peer response, 30 points. You must respond to 2 of your peers, and each of your responses should be 100 words in length. To help you with your discussion, please consider the following questions. Like I've said before, I love my students. You all are wonderfully supportive, but don't just leave your discussion board response at, great job, John, great job, Sue. Well, why did they do a great job? There are 4 questions you should be answering within your response to your classmates, okay? What did you learn from your classmates' post? Are there connects between their document and the unit materials that they did not mention? That's an interesting question. The third one, are there connections between what you learned from your source and what you learned about their source? And lastly, what clarification do you need regarding their post? Okay, so that is the peer response. General requirements, all sources used to complete this need to be cited in APA format. You need in-text citations, and you need references, a reference section. Use the C2 Undergraduate Writing Style Guide for assistance with APA formatting. I have an announcement on how to access the Writing Style Guide. Use it, it's wonderful. And you know what, folks? You are paying tuition here at CTU, so why not use our library? And why not use our Writing Center? It's incredible. I have an announcement in my announcements with the information on the Writing Center. They are fabulous. And the librarians at the library are phenomenal. So please don't hesitate to tap these 2 incredible resources that are at your fingertips. Okay? And again, I will be sending you in a CTU Messenger message the template that you need to use. Okay? So that is what you need to do for the assignment. I want to go over the grading criteria. You need to use the template to construct your original post, and I highly recommend using the grading criteria as a template as well as a blueprint for your Unit 2 discussion, or Unit 4, discussion board assignment. This is what I will be using when I grade your Unit 4 discussion board. The context section. Student identified the creator, including a brief description. Student identified when and where the document was created. I'm going to put my comments, however many points out of 25. Summary. Student fully summarized the document, identifying the main topic, the main points, and at least one interesting detail. My comments, however many points out of 30. Connections. Student identified a connection between the primary source and learning material. Student included a discussion of how the source expanded or changed their previous knowledge. My comments, how many points out of 30. Issue today. Student identifies how the issue in the documents relates to American life today. Student evaluates the ways in which the issue has evolved. Student uses specific examples to explain their points. How many points out of 25? Peer response. Student responds to 2 of their peers. You respond to your peers, you'll get the 20 points. Response content. Student uses peer response adds new depth or insight in the current conversation, encourages further conversation. To me, encouraging further conversation is a key part to that. But anyway, my comments, how many points out of 10? Academic writing. Student uses proper spelling, punctuation, and grammar to write clearly and effectively. References if provided are in APA format. My comments, how many points out of 10? I told it up, it's out of 150 this time instead of 100. So that, my dear students, is a brief explanation of the actual assignment. Like I said, my next video will be going over Reaganomics and the first Gulf War, the first 2 topics you can choose. Then my third short video will be going over the rise of conservatism and the tear down this wall speech. Okay, so this is it for now. See you in video 2 in a sec.